Maresha is mentioned since the era of the judges, approximately 1200 BCE to the time of Herod the Great. A few historical points on Maresha and its connection to our history. Starting with, Maresha is mentioned in the book of Joshua chapter 15 as one of the cities of the tribe of Judah. Then, during the kingdom period, Maresha served as an important fortress in the southwestern part of Judea kingdom. This is shown by the act of King Rehoboam of Judah, who fortified Maresha in the 10th century BCE. This is described in the second book of Chronicles, chapter 11. Now, during Sennacherib, king of Assyria, arrival to Judah, after Hezekiah's rebellion in 701 BCE, Maresha was hit and affected along with many other cities in the Judah lowland, such as Lachish and Azekah. In the 6th century BCE, King Zedekiah of Judah rebelled against the Babylonian rule, so the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar conquered the land again. He destroyed the first temple in Jerusalem and exiled many of the country inhabitants. At the same time, Maresha was also emptied of its Jewish inhabitants. After the destruction of the first temple, the Edomites settled in Maresha as well as in the south of Judah. Some important notes regarding the kingdom of Edom. This was a rich kingdom located in the southwest of today's Jordan. The Edomites engaged in agriculture, trade, and copper mining. Important international trade routes passed through Edom, such as the road to Gaza, Ashkelon, and Syria. We know about the wealth of Edom by the tax it paid to Assyria, a higher tax than what the kingdom of Judah paid. In the 6th and 5th centuries BCE, Edom was conquered by the Nabateans, and the Edomites were pushed out of their land. This is how they arrived to southern Judea and Maresha, area that received the name Edomia. The Edomites took advantage of the vacuum created while the inhabitants of Judah were exiled to Babylon. After the proclamation of Cyrus and the return of Zion in 538 BCE, Maresha was not included in the Jewish autonomy because, as I mentioned, after the Babylonian exile, the Edomites settled here. During the Persian and Hellenistic period in the 6th to 1st century BCE, Maresha was the central city in western Edomia. At the same time as Adoraim controlled the east part of Edomia. After the conquest of the entire region by Alexander the Great in 332 BCE, Sidonians who adopted the Greek culture also arrived to Maresha. A Greek community developed in the city, consisting of citizens and retired military personnel, and the city was given the status of a police. Now, what does it mean? Police is a community related to a geographical location that is political and autonomous. The police was a kind of a city-state, which provided the communal needs of its inhabitants. This includes defense, judgment, legislation, culture, religious worship, and in some cases, also welfare and education services. Now, those services were rare in ancient world as a service provided by the community or by the ruler. In the Hellenistic period, the city consisted of two main parts, the high mound and the lower city, which surround the high mound over an area of 320 dunams, approximately 80 acres. In the lower city, residences from the 3rd and 2nd century BCE were found, one of which we are actually filming right now. Maresha was one of the largest cities in the land of Israel in the early Hellenistic period. In the entire area of the lower city, approximately 160 very complex underground systems are curved into the rock, the descent to which was from residences that were in the city, just like in this case. Underground system means that you can crawl and move from room to room without going outside, and they sometimes include 60 or 70 rooms of various sizes. Following the excavations here, it was possible to get to know the Edomites, who together with the Sidonians and Greeks, who imported the Greek culture, created the culture fusion known as Hellenistic. The Edomites spoke and wrote in Aramaic, and the Phoenicians' population, mainly Sidonians and Greek, used the Greek language as it was the international language at that time. Jonathan Hyrcanus, the Hasmonean, saw the territorial continuity between the mountain and the lowland plain as a vital matter for the integrity of his kingdom. In 112 BCE, he laid a siege to the city of Maresha. The result was known in advance in light of the Jewish force being far superior to the limited forces that were in Maresha. Jonathan Hyrcanus, still outside the city walls, presented the foreign residents with 3 choices: die in battle, flee from the city without any possessions, or surrender and remain in the city under one small condition: they are required to convert. Based on what Josephus Flavius wrote in his book, Antiquities Judaica, they can stay in the country if they are circumcised and they will follow the Jewish laws. Based on his book, the Edomites accepted the request out of will and, I quote, out of love for the land of their forefathers, took it upon themselves. End of quote. It is important for me to point out that there are different opinions by different historians regarding whether converting was forced on them, and also regarding how many decided to stay. The opinions and reasons are many and interesting, but we will not expand beyond what I have mentioned so far. The outcome of the Hasmonean taking over the city is that only the upper city survived, while the lower city was mostly destroyed. One more point: why did he even want to convert them? Well, John Hyrcanus wanted to add strength and power to the Hasmonean kingdom. We are in a partially restored residential complex. This place was used as residential and for trading in the Hellenistic period. The ground floor covered 150 square meters, and the rooms were built around a small center courtyard. Stairs led to the second floor. The walls of the house were preserved to a height of 1.5 meters. Under the residence are cisterns that their water was collected in clay pipes and rainwater channels from the alleys, roofs, and yards. In the southwest corner room of the building, a stepped facility was revealed that resembles a purification facility. The use of water facilities for purification among the Sidonians or Edomite population is unusual. It is possible that this population also had purification customs, such as baptism, even before the conversion by Jonathan Hyrcanus. But it is much more likely that the origin of this purification tradition is in the Jewish population that remained in the place and was part of the human mosaic in Maresha in the 4th to 2nd century BCE. And to conclude, as usual, I have a question for you. One of the kings of Judah is known for his Edom origin. Who is the king? The answer in 5 seconds.